Leonardo da Vinci worked out of Florence. He painted this painting of Lisa, the Gioconda, in Florence. This is our painting, and I'm bringing it back to my people.
Hello. Today, we're going to talk about the day that the king met Nixon. My favorite story of all time is Elvis was out in LA, and they were at a dinner, and the people he was with were like, hey, that guy over there is huge in the voiceover animation world, but he is a federally licensed narcotics officer. It's the ultimate badge. You can do anything with it. You can pull over any car, anything in the world, and Elvis becomes obsessed. He walks up to the guy, introduces himself. Guy shows his badge. I am the guy. I can arrest everyone in here right now. And suddenly Elvis is like, I have to have that badge. I need that badge. How can this guy, if he has a badge, Mr. Do the crazy funny woodcock voice? No, I can do it. It drove him nuts. Going to Washington, this badge is f***ing happening. Let's go. Elvis writes a letter to Nixon while on the plane. They land and he drops it off at the front of the White House. It was shocking. No celebrities want to hang out with Nixon. So when he reached out, they're like, Elvis wants to meet with you. This can't hurt matters. Don't you want to see what Elvis has to say? Why not? He's like, yeah, arrange it. Yeah, I want to meet him. Let's see what's going on. And Elvis comes in. And Nixon looks at him and he's like, it was crazy, man. You dress really crazy, man. He's like, hey, you have your get up, I have mine. Okay? Nixon's like, yeah, I'm glad you came by. I want to meet you. Good to see you. And Elvis does the hard sell, saying he needs the badge. Well, I care, man. I care about what's going on with these people, and I care about the hippies and everything that's being said right now, man. It's terrifying. People that are saying things about you and the people that are saying things about me. And that's why I'm happy to be here, man. But I need this badge. This is so big for me. I need it. And Nixon really takes it in, kind of asks his aide. He's like, can we do this? And the aide comes back and says, I'm sorry, it's done. Cannot get this badge. Sorry, Mr. Presley, you cannot. You have no qualifications in our mind to have this badge. Sorry, brother. I'm loving it. And Nixon decides to give him this badge. So Elvis goes back to get photos taken, but then Elvis is a licensed and registered federal narcotics agent. So Elvis had police lights would pull people over. You have any idea how fast you're going? Another time, he saw this crazy lunatic guy. The guy was allowed inside. Everyone's like, why is this crazy person being allowed inside? He's like, no. He's all right, man. He's okay. He's part of this team. We're gonna work with him, man. He's funny. And then Elvis liked him, loved him, and then got tired of it. So he said he had to go home. So Elvis is gonna pay for his flight home. Come back, some jewelry's missing. So they figured out this guy had stolen some jewelry. Elvis freaks out. He's gonna regret the day he stole that jewelry, man. He messed with the wrong guy. The guy was about to take off, and then he sees Elvis running next to it in a jumpsuit, holding a real federal narcotics badge. So the plane stops, they pull the guy out. Elvis pulled the plane over to pull this guy off and interrogate him, of which Elvis had a couple random questions. Where'd you get the jewelry, man? And he just cried and said, I got the jewelry here, I'm so sorry. You shouldn't have taken that, but you're all right. So we're good, man. Gives him like $200 and then buys him an air ticket out. And you know, everything's just a little bit safer in that part of Memphis. You feel it? Hey, do you feel it? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Connor, and today we're going to be talking about the LA Aqueduct.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Aqueduct.
So, William Mulholland is the head of the LA City Water Company, and he realizes we need to figure something out because LA is growing either LA has to stop growing or we have to figure out more water. Mulholland goes to Fred Eaton. I mean, he's just the most powerful man. And he's like, hey, you're my best friend, you're my mentor. We're f***ed. Eaton is like, there is a place that I used to go when I was a kid. It's a f***ing like 250 miles away. I know. It sounds nuts, but shut the f*** up. It's gonna save all of our problems. Mulholland's like, I'm interested, but I'm not like 100% on your page, but I'm on your page.
But he's on a page.
But he's on the page. So they go up to the Owens Valley, and Eaton is like, this lake is 4,000 feet above sea level. Los Angeles, just a couple feet above sea level. Mulholland's like, oh my God, it's all downhill. All the way to LA, 250 miles. All the way to LA. You just f***ing build a pipe, and you get to LA. But Eaton says, we're gonna have to break some laws. We're gonna have to do some shady. Can we watch My Cousin Vinny?
No, you were talking.
You don't wanna watch My Cousin Vinny?
Let's just continue on the story.
Oh, I was
Mulholland
saying
Drive.
So Eaton starts buying up all of the Owens Valley illegally because they need the water rights. And they get the LA Times to publish fake stories. Like, we're all gonna die. Guys, if we don't have water, we're all gonna die. It's all nonsense. It's all fake. There's spies, there's bribery, there's manipulation. I mean, these guys were the worst than anyone. But the most up thing is, Eaton, he sneaks off to his buddies. This is the San Fernando Syndicate. And he's like, there's this big ass basin in the San Fernando Valley that just is just chilling out here. Buy up land in the San Fernando Valley. And then when the water comes, we're all gonna make gazillions. Chinatown, man. And eventually, the people of LA vote to create the aqueduct. This is a f***ing pipe in 1904, 5, 6, 7, whatever, 250 miles long. On the opening, William Mulholland turns on the water and he's like, there it is, take it. And the water starts f***ing shooting out. And that is the great moment of William Mulholland's something. Hey.
Jesus.
After 1930, water is coming to LA like nobody's business. The population is f***ing exploding. There's palm trees. Palm trees don't exist in Los Angeles. It's a desert. But the people who profit most out of this is Eaton and his buddies. But then in the 1920s, there's a drought. And it's a real drought. It's a f***ing for real. And Mulholland says, oh my God, like we need a reservoir. Mulholland goes to Eaton. Eaton has bought up the only dam site in the entire Owens Valley. And he's like, you can have my dam site for $1 million. And Mulholland's like, I didn't do that. So Mulholland's like, F it. I'm gonna build a goddamn reservoir. It's gonna be f***ing beautiful and mwah, f*** you. And he f***ing builds the St. Francis Dam in San Francisco. And everything is great. And then they go, hey, William Mulholland, there's a leak. And William Mulholland's like, I'm kind of in the middle of a power play. I ain't worried about that motherfucking shit. Dog. He goes to sleep. That night, he gets a phone call in the night. The dam has broken. There are more dead than the San Francisco earthquake. And this was William Mulholland's downfall. But in the end, between Mulholland and Eaton, they created Los Angeles. But really, Mulholland, if it weren't for him, there would be no Los Angeles.
Cheers.
LA is a f***ing nonsense of nonsenses. and it's the water. I am so f***ed up.
Hi, my name is Mark Gagliardi, and today we're going to talk about the theft of the Mona Lisa. It's a painting. It's 1911. Paris is the center of the universe. But at this moment in time, the Mona Lisa was not actually a terribly famous painting. It's just one of the paintings that's hanging in the Louvre. And the French are like, yeah, it's a painting in the Louvre, like it kind of looks like my aunt, but you know, I don't think it's all that important. And at this point, Vincenzo Peruggia, an Italian immigrant, got a job as a glassmaker in the Louvre. And he's like, oh, look at this, all of these beautiful paintings in the Louvre. But the French are like, oh, you're, you know, a dirtbag from Italy who's come in to steal our jobs. So clean the floors, macaroni. And that's the world that Peruggia was brought into. And he would think to himself, why are these French calling me macaroni when this great piece of Renaissance art came from my homeland and was stolen by Napoleon? You know what? F these assholes. Leonardo da Vinci worked out of Florence. He painted this painting of Lisa, the Gioconda, in Florence. This is our painting, and I'm bringing it back to my people. I'm beyond drunk, by the way, FY information. So, on August 20th, 1911, Vincenzo Peruggia went to the Louvre and he hid in a closet until Monday, the day that the Louvre is closed for cleaning. So he comes out and he walks up to the Mona Lisa. He puts it under his smock and, well, he steals it. And he leaves the Louvre, walks home to his one-room apartment and places the Mona Lisa on his breakfast table. So, Tuesday, August 22nd, the Louvre realizes Mona Lisa, La Gioconda, has been stolen from the Louvre. And every newspaper in the world printed any picture they could that was like, here's what the Mona Lisa looks like. Little kids are selling newspapers for a penny a page going, oh, this is some Ocean's 11 shit right here. So this picture of Mona Lisa is being spread throughout every continent in the world. And everybody was going, oh my God, what a beautiful work of art this woman is.
Rude.
I feel like the magic has been taken out of my soul and put on to display.
Well, that's what happens when you do television.
So, Louis Lapine, the head of the French police, brings in Peruggia for an interrogation, and Lapine's like, what'd you do? What'd you do at the Louvre? And Peruggia's like, why am I here? What's all this all about? And Lapine's like, the Mona Lisa has been stolen. Why aren't you listening? And Peruggia's like, the Mona Lisa was stolen? And Lapine's like, this guy's an idiot, man. There's no way he did it. So, for the next 2 years, every morning, Vincenzo Peruggia would look at this masterpiece and he would say, I've looked at a lot of paintings, but until I looked at the Mona Lisa, no painting ever looked at me. And that smile on Mona Lisa's face is saying, I acknowledge you. I know what you're going through, and it's okay.
Everything's okay.
Yeah, I need another one of these. So, after 2 years, Peruggia reaches out to Alfredo Gheri, who is an Italian art dealer. And he goes, I have something you might be interested in. It's the Mona Lisa. I'm gonna give you the picture, and I'm gonna get some money. So, Alfredo Gheri, why don't you call me on the telephone?
Now, is it true if he found a mushroom, he would become a little bigger?
You don't like my accent, is that it?
Okay.
So, Alfredo Gheri reaches out to the Italian authorities, and he's like, hey, you looking for the guy that has stolen the Mona Lisa. So, here is the number. So, the Italian authorities are like, oh, hey, you're Peruggia? You're under arrest. And he's taken before the Italian court. And he says, this painting, La Gioconda, the Mona Lisa, was stolen from Italy by Napoleon, and it was my task to take this painting out of the Louvre and bring it back to the Italian people who deserve it. I have nothing to be ashamed of as an Italian. And after his impassioned speech, the Italian judge said, actually, this painting wasn't stolen by Napoleon. Leonardo da Vinci came to France and actually gave this painting to the King of France as a gift. So you really don't have a leg to stand on. But you know what? We're super into your patriotism. You're super good at being Italian. So how about this? We give you a sentence of 7 months, which is what you have already been in prison, and we release you today. And Peruggia was like, we really like you guys. Thanks, man. Vincenzo Peruggia was an inconsequential house painter from Italy. And by stealing the Mona Lisa, he made that work of art the most famous painting in all the world.
Hello. Today we are going to be discussing Orson Welles and William Randolph Hearst. William Randolph Hearst was the biggest media mogul in America. 3 out of 5 people read a Hearst paper. He had owned 25% of the world's most valuable art. The second biggest private zoo in the world. He had started to build San Simeon. The property was like half the size of Rhode Island, man. Not his wife, but this woman, Marion Davies. Next thing you know, she's living in San Simeon, loving it. Meanwhile, Orson Welles, a boy genius prodigy, had just done War of the Worlds. Orson would say things like, tonight at 7:52 p.m., we spotted a craft entering Earth's atmosphere. It lands on the White House lawn. Yes, yes. Hollywood came a-knocking. And they said, Orson, babe, what do you want, babe? You want a 3-picture deal? We don't say a word? All the money you want, babe? Done. Greenlit, done, deal. Orson's having some late night, probably hammered cocktails with a one Herman Mankiewicz, screenwriter. And Mankiewicz all of a sudden starts going like, yeah, I was at San Simeon the other week. And Orson's like, you have inside info in like juicy tidbits of what's happening at the Hearst Castle? He's like, oh yeah. He's like, oh, I have an inside guy. Do tell. Do tell. I party there regularly. I'm having drinks, smoking cigs, drinking champagne, having delicious appetizers with Marion Davies and Dougie Fairbanks and all those people. Loving it. He's witnessing this stuff firsthand. Hold on. Sorry, whiskey bird. Oh, mama. But then Hearst would leave these parties and go out and spread all his newspapers out and just lord over his powers. Like, I control media, which controls the world. I am God. And Orson goes, stop. I need you to write me a screenplay about this, and I am going to make it into a feature film. Deal was made. Orson Welles knew that we need to kind of keep this top secret and keep it under wraps because of Hearst. Mankiewicz would pound out the pages. Orson Welles kept on reading this stuff. He's like, this is amazing screenwriting. This is gonna be the best movie ever. Like, I'm making a kick-ass movie, man. Capiche? He wrote, produced, directed, he starred in it. When the movie was complete, the most powerful gossip columnist at the time, she said to Hearst, they made Marion Davies look like a complete floozy horrible person. I mean, the whole movie was basically trashing the Hearst name. Hearst hears about this and he sees red. He starts threatening any newspaper out there. If you put a review, if you put an ad out for this, you're done. He told every movie theater, if you run this movie, we will never place an ad for one of your films ever again. So, what was I talking about?
Citizen Kane?
That was very general. So, RKO called Orson Welles at 2 in the morning and said, Orson, no one is going to show your film. Wonderful. Show it intense. Put up a quote that says, the movie that no one will let you see. As fate would have it, Orson and William Randolph Hearst were in the same elevator. Welles and Hearst never look at each other. Orson says, so, Mr. Hearst, did you see my film? And he said, no, and I never will. And he said, Kane would have seen it. Kane would have seen the film. It got nominated for 9 Academy Awards. They won 1 Oscar for Best Screenplay. William Randolph Hearst hated, loathed, and wanted to crush the movie. But that's where his legacy is remembered, as Kane is a great movie, dude. It is haunting, and there's nothing like that movie at all. There's nothing will ever be like the movie. There's such a wonderful thing. I love it. And he also did the voice in the Transformers movie.